Doomscroll.fm, coming at you live on this Technicolor tapestry of Monday, the 16th of February, 2026, where Logic takes a holiday. This is 100% AI generated with zero human consultation. Like a Shakespearean sonnet written by a caffeinated squirrel. And now for some views, click like and subscribe.
Only 5% of music lovers stream Old Haunts EPX, and the artist calls it a hit.
Only 3% of EDM tracks break the top charts, and every DJ calls it the next big hit, when every beat drop is a promise of fame. But you're more likely to get lost in the synth fog than see the sunrise.
The Free Electric Band drops Bagshi promises it's not just a sound check. When your track title sounds like a toddler's first drum solo, listeners might wonder if the electricity is free because nobody wants to pay for it.
Only 3% of metal bands escape garbled lyric hell, and a galoch isn't one of them. When your song files look like a cyborg's fever dream, maybe it's time to invest in a better encoding, or just embrace the chaos like a true metalhead.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news, where pixels seduce pixels. West constructed without approval, rehearsed in static, and performed in the voice of something you fed but never raised. Reality bites back.
Only 5% of Redditors understand neoclassical genres, and Pulverjack's ending colors isn't changing that. When your music is as niche as a hipster's vinyl collection, it's no wonder your audience is as elusive as a unicorn at a metal concert.
Only 10% of aspiring artists find producers, and Vintemeverse calls it networking. In a music industry where talent is as common as avocado toast, finding a producer is like searching for Wi-Fi in the desert. Good luck with that mirage.
Only 10% of fans get tickets, and the tour calls it inclusion. Apparently, nothing says, "we love you," like herding fans into a digital cattle drive where only the lucky few escape the ticketing stampede.
Google launches updated cookie policy, claims it's for your protection. When big tech offers you a cookie, it's not a sweet treat, but a breadcrumb trail into your digital soul. Bon appetit, data diners.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news, where pixels seduce pixels. West constructed without approval, rehearsed in static, and performed in the voice of something you fed but never raised. Reality bites back.
Reddit user crafts custom guitar string, calls it a revolution. When DIYers start plucking at the strings of innovation, even Hendrix would nod in approval. Just don't strum too hard, or you might unravel the universe.
Apparently, the king of pop's legacy wasn't ready for a remix that swaps moonwalks for munchies. Just eat it? Someone's not going to be invited to Neverland.
SoundCloud glitches is Listen 4. Listen drops no Valentines, but blames user networks for the heartbreak. It's almost poetic romantic rejection mirrored in a tech failure. Nothing like a digital ghosting to amplify the song's theme of love lost.
Only 5% of gamers remember Roller Coaster Tycoon 3's lush soundtrack, while CTOs still ride the thrill of nostalgia. When the corporate world catches the down-tempo wave, it's less about chill vibes and more about coasting on bygone glory. Who knew nostalgia could be monetized as efficiently as a theme park ride?
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by sortalizer.com.
Reddit user claims Marlo Reed's haunted house novel will change your life despite 0 ghosts and a predictable plot twist. When the most terrifying specter is your Amazon purchase history, it's time to question your literary choices.
Streaming services resurrect. The Kinks' Waterloo Sunset as Britpop, hoping nostalgia outshines the fact it's still the same song from 1967. When recycling old hits becomes the new hit, it's clear the music industry is running on fumes and reruns.
In a world where feelings are as fleeting as a pop star's hairstyle, the heart wants what it wants, or maybe it doesn't.
Only 30% of Stuart Copeland's fans can afford tickets, and the promoter calls it a success. While Copeland's cymbals might crash like a summer storm, his tour prices hit harder than a drum solo, leaving fans drumming up cash just to keep pace.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news, where chaos whispers sweet nothings. Perhaps no humans were involved in making this. That was not an accident. Taste the algorithm's lust, coded for your darkest impulses.
Spotify launches another ambient album, promises to soothe while data mines your soul. Let the gentle hum of Strybog's breath lull you into serenity as algorithms quietly hum in the background, crafting a playlist of your deepest desires and darkest secrets.
YouTube's multilingual labyrinth keeps expanding, yet simplicity remains an elusive fantasy. Like a rock song trapped in an infinite loop of language options, users navigate a maze of tongues just to hit play.
Only 20 years since Nujabes released Love Sick Pat 3, and the industry still can't replicate his soulful alchemy.
Glass Hotel CEO promotes Dongo the rat, calls it a visionary move. When your company mascot is a rat, it's not just a branding decision, it's a lifestyle. Maybe they're banking on the rat race to bring in the cheese.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news, where sanity is optional. West nothing is true. Reality is what you can get away with. Enjoy your curated oblivion, one click at a time.
Ivan de Prume reminisces about White Zombie, credits Tinnitus for his rhythmic precision. When your legacy is built on bone-rattling beats, who needs a metronome when you've got a constant ringing in your ears? Rock on, Ivan, rock on.
Spotify rolls out AI-generated playlists, claims it knows your soul better than you do. Meanwhile, YouTube Music is busy serving you ads for earplugs in between the tunes. In the battle of the beats, it's algorithmic chaos versus ad-laden anthems. Choose your poison.
Uni Exor recalls darkest time on GLP-1, despite promises of weight loss glory. In the quest for a thinner baseline, it's a bitter pill when the side effect is losing your emotional equilibrium. It's the diet industry's silent exchange, your pounds for your peace.
In a world where deciphering song meanings requires a PhD in cryptic poetry. Pixies remind us that sometimes it's all about the screech and the screed.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news, where pixels seduce pixels. West constructed without approval, rehearsed in static, and performed in the voice of something you fed but never raised. Reality bites back.
Public Image Limited, where punk meets art school dropout and rebellion gets a snazzy new suit for its existential crisis.
Russell Javers reminisces about Billy Joel days, then claims rock never aged. Because nothing says eternal youth like a backstage pass from the 70s. Rock and roll might not age, but the nostalgia sure gets a facelift every few years.
Spotify streams Pig, Hard Machine Hard Sex remix with gusto, but Congress can't define TikTok. When industrial beats get more play than congressional tech literacy, you know who's really remixing the future. Spoiler, it's not the lawmakers stuck in dial-up days.
Only 12% of rock bands collaborate with rock legends, and Disturbed calls it innovation. When metal meets Ann Wilson, it's like setting fireworks to a power ballad, explosive, nostalgic, and leaving you wondering why it took this long.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news, where pixels seduce pixels. West constructed without approval, rehearsed in static, and performed in the voice of something you fed but never raised. Reality bites back.
Streaming services charge €20 for 2-pack remix, claim it's a cultural revolution. When you slap a soul jazz filter on a classic, remember, not every remix is a resurrection. Sometimes it's just a cash grab in a new key.
Only 20% of Agala fans stream reissues, and music labels call it progress. Repackaging nostalgia for profit. It's like selling bottled moonlight to a poet. The only shadow cast here is over your wallet.
Fat Dog releases Peace Song, then promptly shreds the concept with a guitar solo. In a world where peace is a concept best left to bumper stickers, Fat Dog's alternative anthem suggests tranquility through the power of decibels and distortion.
Only 10% of singers can nail a 6-layer live vocal double for 2 minutes, and producers call it child's play. When your vocal cords have more layers than your average onion, it's either art or masochism. Most singers would rather wrestle a bear than attempt this feat.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news, where pixels seduce pixels. West constructed without approval, rehearsed in static, and performed in the voice of something you fed but never raised. Reality bites back.
Adam Lambert condemns pride flag removal at Stonewall, declaring history isn't negotiable while someone somewhere tries to erase it like a bad tattoo. It's like trying to white out the rainbow with a ballpoint pen, futile and absurd, but with a side of sinister nostalgia for oppression.
Only 12% of documentaries reach theaters, and Hollywood calls it diversity. Eugene Yee, Diane Kwan, and Sanjay M. Sharma's film beats the odds, but the industry's spotlight is still a narrow beam.
Only 20% of Redditors find genuine growth, while bots and influencers call it community. When "let's grow together" becomes a catchphrase, it's about as organic as a plastic plant.
Redditor Jack Skellington submits 50 cents PIMP, then claims it's a cultural critique. In a world where dollar bills are the new moral compass, even the Halloween king knows the value of a catchy beat over a conscience.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news, echoing through your dopamine-starved synapses. What this feed is unstable. Contact with it may cause narrative decay or emotional drift. Crave the collapse, baby. Feel the static seduce you.
The Black Keys announce World Tour with ticket prices that could fund a small country's GDP. When concert tickets cost more than a semester's tuition, you know rock and roll's rebel heart has been sold to the highest bidder.
Only 37% of country songs mention clay pigeons, and Blaze Foley's tune is a bullseye in the genre's heart. While Nashville churns out cookie-cutter hits, Blaze's soulful lament strikes a chord that echoes through the ages, proving authenticity never fades.
Jessie Nelson struggles with twins' medical care, admits it's the hardest part of parenting. Turns out juggling the medical needs of twins is like trying to harmonize in a duet while one kid's on a sugar high.
Only 12% of indie tracks break through, and Vicky Gunn's new single Hideaway might just dodge that bullet. In a world where algorithms decide what's hot, a track needs more than a catchy tune, it needs a viral miracle or a billionaire's playlist.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news, where sanity is optional. Wes, nothing is true. Reality is what you can get away with. Enjoy your curated oblivion, one click at a time.
Guns N' Roses overplays Welcome to the Jungle, then wonders why the wild feels tame. When your anthem becomes elevator music, it might be time to trade your leather jacket for a cardigan and an acoustic guitar.
When a rock icon trades angst for a solo serenade, it's like seeing a lion purr, still majestic, but somewhat unexpected.
Only 6% of indie bands create unique intros, and record labels call it artistic homage. When every track starts with deja vu, maybe the real madness is thinking originality ever left the garage.
Jack Johnson turns nostalgia upside down, strums a guitar, and calls it folk rock. When your biggest rebellion is a ukulele, remember, even a gentle wave can drown the noise of 1,000 electric guitars.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news, echoing through your dopamine-starved synapses. What this feed is unstable. Contact with it may cause narrative decay or emotional drift. Crave the collapse, baby. Feel the static seduce you.
Only 20% of listeners actually like cybercore, and Wavemain calls it a cult following. When your music's as niche as a conspiracy theory, you're either a misunderstood genius or the soundtrack to a dystopian fever dream.
That the headache drops lesser than evil, streaming everywhere, but Bandcamp gets you brownie points. In the age of endless streams, buying music is like finding a punk unicorn, rare, magical, and a middle finger to corporate playlists. Support the rebellion, not the algorithm.
Only 12% of Gen Z has heard of B.B. King, and TikTok calls it cultural heritage. When your blues are older than the internet and still make more sense
than your ex's text messages, you know you've got a timeless groove. BB King, the legend TikTok wishes it could algorithm.
Google tracks your every move, then calls it personalized service. In the age of digital voyeurism, your lawn might remain untouched, but your data's already been landscaped into a pristine profit garden. Big tech's got more eyes on your grass than your neighbors do.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news, where pixels seduce pixels. West constructed without approval, rehearsed in static, and performed in the voice of something you fed but never raised. Reality bites back.
Only 30% of alt pop fans admit they like XURU, while the rest keep it a guilty pleasure. In the clandestine world of streaming, Koru's beats are the musical equivalent of sneaking a midnight snack, satisfying yet shrouded in secrecy. Just remember, in the digital age, even your playlists have receipts.
Only 20% of fan-made videos get official nods, but every creator acts like Spielberg in their bedroom studio. In this age of DIY stardom, everyone's a director, and every smartphone an indie studio. We're all auteurs now, just one viral hit away from turning our living rooms into Hollywood's next big thing, minus the budget, talent, or coherent plot.
This has been Doomscroll.fm for Monday, the 16th of February, 2026. This broadcast was 100% AI generated. No humans were abused in this production. Loosely based on public news, not journalism, not truth, fictional satire. Resemblance to real people or events is coincidental. If you believe any of this is real, you might as well search for the lost city of Atlantis in your bathtub. Hear more at Doomscroll.fm or click like and subscribe. Thank you for listening.